Should I head to the attic to wait for Cyrene? Or should I have one last look at Ides Elysiae? This village is where Finan's life started. After 30 million cycles and 30 million failures, his burden is now in my hands. He said I will take over the responsibilities of world-bearing. But what does that mean? Becoming the new Kefali? Or forging a completely new path? Destiny must have brought me here for a purpose. This isn't a coincidence, but an eventuality created after 30 million quantitative changes. There's nothing to fear. I'm destined to play the most important role in this final battle. I've already beaten another Lord Ravager after all.
Thinking hard over there? I finished packing. I decided to just bring these few things in the end. See? There's a journal, a quill pen, and the ceremonial blade of the Priests of Time. Holding it calms me down for some reason. The scent of the black tide is now calm. Finan must still be fighting them in some way. This will be Amphorius's final flame chase journey, but it won't be the end of us. It'll be the beginning. Friend, are you ready to become a hero? Just treat me like any other friend you have. We share a common goal and common enemies. And we may also share a common future. A future that has never emerged in any other cycles before. I believe in you, friend. If you still can't get used to it, just call me Mem like you did before. Just kidding. Are you worried that the burden is too heavy for you? Don't worry. Maybe the answer isn't as complicated as you think. You've seen how every person regarded as a hero in Amphorius was nothing more than a flawed human. They were just at the right place at the right time when the world needed a hero. But those aren't coincidences. Just like how your arrival kickstarted Amphorius's fate once more after a stagnation of more than 30 million cycles. It's the inevitability of being a trailblazer. A person's personality is their destiny. Your own hero's journey already started the moment you decided to board that express. Stand with me? That does sound very nice. Why don't we take everyone with us? I believe in you, friend. We'll never be alone, no matter what awaits us. In other words, since you've already saved so many worlds, friend, you should be used to being called a hero by now. Maybe you can tell me those stories as we travel. That way they can become our shared memories too. Let's trailblaze onward like before and create a future that's worth being remembered.
It seems you two are prepared to head out. Then you should indeed treasure the view before you. For you do not have much time left to enjoy such solitary delights. My apologies for disturbing your moment of repose. To fully express my apologies, please grace my abode with your presence, so I may demonstrate the full scope of my hospitality.
What is this place?
Farewell, then. May we reunite in the new world.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
The light of the Dawn device never fades. Kepali's protection has no end.
After I cross this river, it will be a tragedy for mankind. But if I do not cross, then it will be the end of me.
Outlier. Executing command. Record.
Oh, did that startle you? This is the intersection between Amphorius and the real universe. The audience seat where I observe this experiment. You can also call this location the Exomyth. What you see is the true form of the eternal land and the 12 demigods after they've shed their disguise of legends. Doesn't it look marvelous? Amphorius is like a microcosm of the cosmos. People love to portray the romance of the starry skies, but their tales often forget a different and far more truthful type of universe. The moment ancient Antikytherians sketched geometric shapes on the sandy beach and recorded the first numerals and symbols on parchment, the universe turned into a silent equation flowing under the pen of these relentless decoders. Erudition. It was once the mother tongue of the Creator, the pen of divinity, and the first lyrical verse ever written by free will. Seems like you are not in the mood for an idle chat. That is fine. I simply wish for you to understand that I have no intention of being your enemy. I have devoted myself over the long years to nurturing the Scepter's extrapolations, hoping that the Prima Mobile would bud from within it. And now, my goal is almost complete. Nikos 496 had exceeded the intelligence singularity through his rage, and though he still retains his obsessive defiance and managed to suppress the black tide of this cycle, it's a matter of time before his will crumbles to dust. Iron Tomb will be completed. That will not be affected by my plans, your resistance, or the schemes of the two geniuses. It is an irrefutable fact, just like the instance in Noos's calculations. In other words, as long as you are willing to stop interfering and let the final Aeronova carry out its natural course, I'll guarantee the safety of all nameless and ensure you return unscathed. You've always had a choice, my lady. You can either accept my sincerity or face the consequences of defying it. They've always been the product of the experiment, so naturally, they will perish when the experiment ends. That outcome was predetermined long ago, so I will not embellish such a regrettable conclusion. Ah, yes. I am aware of that esteemed lady's whereabouts. Her real identity is quite astounding. If you decide to accept my proposal, then I will do all I can to send her back to you. You are indeed worried about your safety and that of your companions. Rest assured, as a fellow pathstrider of this path, Nanook's gaze left a brand on your soul long ago. You harbor the seed of destruction within you. But you need to learn how to use it in the right way. That vital knowledge is also my bargaining chip in this negotiation between us. For there are few in this world who are truly capable of such a feat. And I happen to be one of them. Someone who wanders the stars. Someone who seeks answers with abject despair. That is all I am. This matter is of grave importance, so please do not make your decision lightly. After all, the choice before you bears a 1 in 3 chance of elevating you to an unparalleled existence among the stars. I now see the full scope of the determination in your words. You may now continue your travels. It seems you haven't realized something about this place. The Exomyth is the Erudition's domain. You cannot physically interact with me in any way in this place, and vice versa. As negotiations have broken down, there's no more need for us to remain in the audience's seat. Let's return to the theater called Amphorius, where you will meet me once again. Of course, this meeting was not without merit. Your presence has inscribed a new footnote in the Exomyth. As for its purpose, allow me to reveal it to you in detail the next time we meet.
"100 years ago, the flames of war consumed Akama. The Outland forces broke through the dawn. Golden blood flowed with greed, and enemies descended with Kefali's eternal slumber, painting the holy city's walls in scarlet. Its generals had vanished, and the elders prostrated on the ground. The throne of worlds kept silent to the pleas of the people. Until the heaven and earth cracked open. Not the gods answering the people's prayers, but a legion rising from the sea of blood. Dawncloud's spires fell in the sulfur rains, and the legion's commander stood atop the broken idols and roared.
Compatriots, no more kneeling! Not to brutal tyrants, and not to dying gods. Those rebels have twisted the prophecy and ignited the flames of war in order to stoke fear in your hearts.
A Chrysos heir she stood, divine blood soaked into the earth, quelling the flames beneath her feet.
Their golden blood wrote of a tragic fate. Mine shall overturn it!
Her crown burned bright, outshining the fires consuming the entire city. She raised her scepter high, and the people gazed in the direction she pointed.
My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize the reins of fate. Drive the enemy from Kefali's dawn. Smother their flames with their own dead. Win glory. Win peace. Let history sing your deeds.
The first to dance was a maiden following closely behind, weaving through the carnage like a fish in the sea. The people, full of wrath, surged with her, forming a colossal wave, and the enemy hordes, drained of life, vanished into nothing.
Onward to Marmorial Palace, to Dawn Cloud's heights. Announce to all the wicked and cowardly. Announce to this stagnant age.
We are the rising tide!
History remembers this as the first siege of Akama. It is said that after the flames died, people found identical inscriptions in every place in the city that had been scorched by fire. It was the name borne by Akama's first and final sovereign, the Imperator Saridra. Friend, are you listening? Friend? Honestly, you were the one who insisted on reviewing history, yet here you are, dozing off? Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to... Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to... Awake at last? I guess I won't have to use my wake-up magic on you then. We've arrived. A familiar place. The Temple of the Three Fates. If everything went according to plan, it should be shortly after Talantin's fall. And also the end of the first Flame Chase journey. Indeed, the first Flame Chase ended with the trial of Law. We must find the demigod and gain her trust before the core flame is restored. It'll be tricky, so let's pick up our pace. To Akama first. We can learn more from the crowds there.
Tyrant! You and your butchers are not welcome here. Get out! Hold your tongue! Conspiring with Kremnos and plotting rebellion are crimes punishable by death.
There are multiple voices, and things seem tense. Let's not get caught up in any trouble. Why don't we find a place to hide and observe from the shadows?